What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and The Last of Us Season 2 has reached that predictable point, the point where everyone who had played the video game, Last of Us Part 2, knew what would happen. It's so wild. So we just passed the episode, obviously, where in The Last of Us, where they take out Joel's character. Why? Because he's a strong, independent man, a good father figure, and we can't have that in modern-day television. Remember when everyone was outraged when the video game did that very same thing? All the journalists came out and said, "Oh, this is a toxic fan problem. This is a fan issue. The fans are the problem. They need to, understand that, we need to have a burly, male-looking female characters hookup scenes in our video games, and we have to betray the fans by having the main character of the show have meet an untimely end because we're subverting expectations. It's so cool." Well, everyone hated it. There was massive backlash. And guess what? Now that they did it in the television show, the exact same thing is happening. And of course, predictably, we're already getting articles. The Last of Us is and toxic fan culture. Huge shout out to everyone who's picking up our Coffee Brand Coffee gift box. Look, Mother's Day is next week, but even if you don't need a Mother's Day gift. It is an absolute amazing sample of all of our offerings at Coffee Brand Coffee. It's $10 off right now on Amazon plus free shipping. So it's cheaper than it ever was buying from our website. It has our blueberry cobbler, our Colombian roast, honey sticks, yogurt covered pretzels, and our delicious chocolate covered espresso beans. I'm hoping that you'll pick one up today, and then when you get it tomorrow, even if it's not for a gift, hopefully you'll help me out. I need to move. I sent a large amount of these to Amazon, hoping that they would sell better. And I learned a lot, but I also need folks to try them out. Once you get yours, come back, scroll down, write a customer review, and I would greatly appreciate it. I desperately need it. So hopefully, now Last of Us Season 2. You see here the reviews, 49% of 2,500 plus ratings. The fans, the critics gave it a 95% because they love it when, straight white male characters meet untimely ends. Now, if we want to look at, how it was season one was quite good. Both viewers and fans agreed that season one, if I go here, season one, 95 versus 96 critic rating, so about the same. Critics liked it. They loved that they dedicated a whole episode to making a non-gay character gay. But fans had over 10,000 ratings of season one, 87%. Now, this is what I'm telling you about viewership. In the first season, 10,000 plus people left reviews, gave it an 87%. In the second season, just 2,500 people left reviews, and they gave it a 49%. So of 25% of the people left reviews. Now it's probably, I'm sure there's normally a decline in between seasons, like between season one and season two of a particular show. But that is a significant decline. And how does the media react to that decline? Well, writing articles about The Last of Us Season 2's review brigading isn't limited to Rotten Tomatoes. It's 2,000 reviews, and Collider's writing a whole article coping about it. The Last of Us and toxic fan culture. Let's look at this. And also, I think we have everyone's favorite Rachel Zegler. And then I think she had something to say about it. I don't know, maybe not. Pedro Pascal slammed after supporting Rachel Zegler. What? Somebody else claimed that. Oh, here you go. February 11th. So she's been promoting it. Just watched a new episode of The Last of Us. I'm once again sobbing. At an episode of Scary Zombie Show. I mean, I don't know if she's spoken about it. She hasn't tweeted since August. I'm not surprised. But let's go to this article about how it's the fans' fault, right? A few weeks back, after seeing a remarkable number of reels hyping up the return of The Last of Us, I finally binged the first season of the acclaimed video game adaptation. With each episode, I found myself slowly falling in love with the chemistry between Joel and Ellie. The lore of the post-apocalyptic world and the brilliant production design, I eagerly awaited the show's return, grateful that I would not have to wait 2 years for new episodes like those who had tuned in during the early release. However, I soon found my Instagram feed infiltrated by reels of concerning topics. Specifically, users seemed intensely focused on criticizing the physical appearance of Bella Ramsey. Well, Bella Ramsey she's got that quintessential Hollywood look. Mildly autistic, eyes too wide apart. Halle Bailey, Rachel Zegler, they all have the exact same look. Before I continue, I should clarify I have very extremely limited experience playing the games of the Last of Us series. Sure, fine, I'm not surprised. You don't have to have played the video game to enjoy the television show or vice versa. Much of the criticism towards Ramsay has, according to the posted comments I've seen, come from avid fans of the original series. These criticisms typically revolve around concerns that Ramsay does not physically resemble the character Ellie depicted in the video game series. Well, yeah, that is a fair gripe, by the way. Upon first glance, the criticism doesn't seem overly harmful or unwarranted. From an objective standpoint, I would say that Ramsay and the video game version of Ellie have facial and hairstyle differences that are more pronounced than some of the show's other actors. However, these criticisms often contain more malicious and inconsiderate ideas behind them, delivered in a quiet or overt manner. The first issue regarding criticism stems from fans who are blaming for the perceived miscasting. Most of the less hate-filled posts online simply compare Ramsay to the video game version of Ellie, with the implication that Ramsay is somehow responsible for the physical differences, and that's fair. Like, it's an actress, she took the job, it's not her fault. The grievances from these fans would be much better directed towards casting directors. I'd agree with that. One post that stood out to me in particular featured two versions of the photo, one unedited, one unedited, in which the creator had digitally altered Ramsay's hairstyle to better create that of Ellie's. The commenters on the post also took a much more positive and constructive approach to their criticism, placing the emphasis on the hairstyling and makeup decisions rather than placing it solely on Ramsay. But the online behavior is particularly concerning, given Ramsay's past struggle with anorexia. I don't think anybody's calling her fat. They're calling her weak. Like, when she defeats a full-grown man in jiu-jitsu, it's pretty hilarious to watch. Ramsay revealed that they decided to quit social media, explaining that the differences between Ellie and her own physical appearance resulted in a great deal of anxiety regarding their role. So now we're rolling this out, just like they did with Kelly Marie Tran and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's be disingenuous to pretend that people aren't critical of Bella Ramsey's physical appearance. That's mostly because she's wildly unattractive, in my opinion. But these are just kids. They're supposed to be playing a kid. So, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, she's got a weird looking face. That's just the reality of it, in my opinion. But then it goes, of course, they were exacerbated by fixation on social media posts and trolls on their physical dissimilarities. Clearly, this behavior has had an adverse effect on the emotional well-being of the human being. While I understand the desire of fans who witness their favorite piece of media and put it on screen in a more faithful way possible, most faithful way possible, the criticisms regarding Ramsay's casting have too often traveled in the territory of hate, posting, and trolling. At the end of the day, the original video game series still exists for fans to enjoy. While fans have the right to be dissatisfied with the adaptations, we must strive to direct criticisms in an ethical and proper manner. Nah, dude, you're a dork who's going to Cornell. You're a college kid. We're allowed to criticize. People are allowed to criticize however they see fit. We don't need some dork college kid tone policing us. Bella Ramsey is wildly dissimilar from the original character. It's as bad as a race swap. They didn't even bother to try to pick a character that kind of looked like her. But again, you see The Last of Us 2's review brigading isn't limited to Rotten Tomatoes. Again, there's only 2,000 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but Collider is having a meltdown about it. The Last of Us 2 season holds a must-watch 81 out of 100 on Metacritic, but its user rating is languishing at 4.4. One glance at the user reviews reveals most of the detractors seem to be repeating the issue that they had with the source in the video game. The negativity is being targeted at stars Bella Ramsey and Caitlin Denver, while Pedro Pascal, whose character Joel, spoiler alert, got killed off in the second episode, seems to be doing just fine. Well, that's because he actually looks like Joel. Now, I don't like Pedro Pascal in real life, but he played a good Joel. And, you know, I can't take that away from him. I thought he played a decent Mandalorian until he got his undies in a bundle and wanted to take the mask off all the time because he wanted to be popular. Review brigading is an unusual phenomenon, especially in these divided times. Famously, the all-female Ghostbusters reboot was targeted so viciously by the self-appointed gatekeepers of the franchise that its box office performance was affected. Good. And by the way, the movie sucks. And by the way, these people also have to decide, do the reviews matter or not? Because one day they're writing articles that say the reviews don't matter and that these toxic online trolls are irrelevant. And then the next day they're writing, my girl, anonymous people on the internet are writing reviews and people aren't paying to see the movies. Look, I like horror films. So if you like horror films too, you know what I'm about to say. This is a category that is plagued with terrible reviews. It is extremely common. Like in overall in movies, it's not very common where the critics tank something and it does good. Like Venom or something like that. It's rare when that happens. In the horror genre, it almost exclusively happens that way. I'm used to bad reviews. I watch the trailer. I decide if I want to see the movie or not. Very, very few people make their decision to see a movie based on the reviews. Now, maybe they watch some YouTube videos, they get some spoilers, this, that, and the other. But again, critics are standing up for The Last of Us as they always have. Well, you know what? The critics can watch the show. You know, is it really review brigading if people don't like the show? Yeah, they don't like the show. Predictably, it's the fans' fault. That this is a tired, old narrative that they need to move off of. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like it. Please do help me move these Mother's Day gift boxes. They are $10 off today. Available for free overnight shipping. I need to move about 3,000 of them, or seriously, Coffee Brand Coffee's in big trouble. I'll be probably making a standalone video about that next week that people are really going to hate, but it's either that or my company's cooked. So made a mistake, sent too many. That ends up in your favor. It's on sale. Pick them up. It's absolutely delicious. The perfect gift, or just pick it up to get all the stuff inside. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again real soon.